Welcome to AP 8-1, Use of City Information and City Information Technology Resources, where we will cover allowed and prohibited uses of technology resources. Acceptable uses. City IT resources are intended primarily for uses in connection with conducting city business. Users are permitted to use city information and city IT resources only for purposes that are safe, legal, ethical, and do not conflict with the user's duties and is compliant with all other laws. Prohibited uses. The list below is non-exhaustive, but merely provides a framework for activities that fall into categories of prohibited uses. Engaging in any activity that violates any law or city policies, including city policies regarding appropriate activities in the workplace and Executive Order 1-18, Policy on Use of Social Media. Intentionally creating, accessing, downloading, viewing, storing, or transmitting sexually explicit or sexually oriented materials. This prohibition does not apply to video or audio files created as part of authorized surveillance or monitoring services, where the video or audio files incidentally record or contain persons engaging in sexually explicit acts. Engaging in any activity that violates Executive Order 1-50, the city's workplace discrimination and harassment policy, as amended from time to time, including the creation or transmission of any materials that ridicule, harass, or discriminate on the basis set forth in the Executive Order. Intentionally creating, accessing, or transmitting materials that contain offensive, threatening, or disruptive content, including any text or image that can be considered racially offensive, defamatory, disparaging, obscene, hate speech, or otherwise violating the legal rights of others. Intentionally creating, accessing, downloading, viewing, storing, copying, or transmitting materials related to illegal weapons or terrorist activities. Intentionally and knowingly causing security breaches or engaging in activities that would compromise the security of or harm any city information or city IT resources. This includes intentionally and knowingly avoiding disabling or circumventing city-established security procedures and controls, sharing or disclosing a person's user ID or other means of digital authentication, including passwords without authorization, jailbreaking a city-owned mobile device, or using a jailbroken device to conduct city business, or introducing, uploading, downloading, or distributing malware. Intentionally and knowingly storing sensitive information on an unauthorized device. Intentionally and knowingly using city information and city IT resources in any manner that may damage, impair, disrupt, or interfere with the city's IT resources. Intentionally attempting to gain unauthorized access to any city information and city IT resources through hacking, password cracking, using a password and user ID other than the one the user is assigned or authorized to use, or through any other unlawful or unethical means. Accessing, downloading, reading, deleting, copying, modifying, printing, or transmitting another user's data, user ID, identification, password, or ESI without proper authorization. Restricting, inhibiting, or preventing another user from accessing or using city information and city IT resources without proper authorization. Using city IT resources to gain unauthorized access to other IT resources. Impersonating another user or representing oneself as someone else, including either a fictional or real person. Using P2P communications that have not been purchased by the city for use in conducting city business or have not been approved by the Chief Information Officer. creating or using an authorized distribution list in the city-provided email system, or distributing unauthorized newsletters or other publications using the city-provided email system or a city email account. Distributing anonymous email messages, such as email messages where the recipient is unable to view the sender's name or email address, or the use of an email tool or service that conceals the originator of the email message. Creating, copying, transmitting, or forwarding chain letters, junk email, or other unauthorized mass mailings regardless of the subject matter. Accessing, disclosing, or transmitting confidential information to unauthorized recipients, or failing to secure the transmission of or access to confidential information in compliance with city policies, including the use of Dropbox or other data storage repositories, unless such use is authorized by city policies or approved in writing by appropriate IT personnel. Acquiring, using, reproducing, copying, transmitting, distributing, or downloading, or reproducing materials, images, audio, or video files, software, or any other document or ESI that is protected by copyright, trademark, license, or other intellectual property and legal rights without proper authorization. The user is responsible for obtaining the proper authorization, and the city assumes no responsibility for a user's failure to obtain this proper authorization. Downloading or installing software, freeware, shareware, or executable program files from the internet or other electronic sources to city IT resources without approval from the appropriate IT personnel. This includes games, scanners, password crackers, anti-malware, software, firewalls, and web browsers. Adding, downloading, installing, or connecting personal IT resources to city IT resources without the appropriate management authorization, including the installation of modems on city data lines, home computers, and reconfiguration of systems. This prohibition does not apply to commonly used and secure personal IT resources, such as software necessary to enable printing, or other software that facilitates the city employee's performance of his or her job responsibilities. Using the city's IT resources to establish personal, commercial, and/or nonprofit organizational web pages. Using city IT resources for commercial purposes, private gain, in support of for-profit activities, or in support of other outside employment or business activity, such as consulting for pay, sales or administration of business transactions, or sales of goods or services. Creating, soliciting, or transmitting campaign materials, or materials in connection with political, religious, charitable, fundraising, or other non-city business activities that are not authorized by the appropriate city personnel. Consuming a significant amount of city IT resources or accessing non-business related applications or websites that maintain a persistent connection to the internet for non-city business related purposes, such as streaming audio and video or downloading large files. Engaging in gambling or online gambling. Engaging in any personal use that does not qualify as allowed personal use under this policy as defined in Section 9.1.3, such as spending excessive time using city IT resources for non-city business purposes. For example, shopping, checking personal email accounts, or visiting social networking sites. Using city information and city IT resources for any other purpose outside of the acceptable uses authorized by this policy and other city policies.